Hello there everybody, a very good afternoon and welcome back to HowToTrade.com. Welcome back to another live stream here in our trading room across YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn and on X as well. It's good to see everyone. Obviously I'm on later than I normally am. I'm normally on at 10 o'clock in the morning British Standard Time, but I'm on at 1 o'clock basically, and that's really to just cover the ECB rate decision live. So we always cover the main interest rate decisions at HowToTrade, and today it's the ECB's turn, which is the European Central Bank. So we're going to be having a look at some of the volatility that comes from that live as it happens, and what I'm expecting for the release, and therefore what I'm expecting for some European markets this afternoon. So hopefully we get some late European action, and then that will head us straight into the US session where Shane will be streaming later on. Good to see you all across the trading room. Good to see you all. Dibble, hello to you. Good morning. And hello to you, Dragon131. It's very good to see you as well from the Rocky Mountains. Very, very good. Hello to you at $200 girl. Oh, you said you can't join the live. It should be live now. Click the green banner. Let me know if you can see me at $200 girl. Good to see you across the YouTube channel as well. Goth, hello to you. No giveaways for today, unfortunately, but we are going to be looking to do a new trading competition very soon. So that will have some really fantastic giveaways. We just gave away $10,000 or a share of $10,000 we gave away $10,000 between 3 different people, which is great. Hello to you, Dre Day every day. Thanks for the gold signal yesterday. No problem. Didn't quite work from the initial 5-minute zone, but the direction was correct. That's why I don't really trade the lower time frames, because the concepts can be quite muddled. But yeah, really, really good. And you can see gold now pushing at those all-time highs as we expected. I'm not going to claim that's some amazing prediction, because it was quite probable with the market structure that we saw. So good stuff there. Dillaby, hello to you. Good afternoon. Very good to see you as well. Ivy, hello to you as well. Good to see you, and good to see everyone else as well in the trading room. Good to see you all. Right. For today, what we need to be focused on is, of course, the ECB rates decision, which is coming out in just about 6 minutes' time. Slightly unusual. This is the data that we need to be focused on. Slightly unusual prediction today. We're expected that rates are going to cut by 0.25 basis points. It's just weird how normally the interest rates are at sort of 0.5 and 0.25, so it'd be at either 3.5 or 4. But the current interest rate is at 3.65%, which is just unusual. That's all. You don't normally see it that specifically that printed, but there we go. It's just me being strange. And the 3.4% is expected. The rate on deposit facility, that's at 3.5% and expected to be down to 3.25%. But obviously the main refinancing rate is what we're looking for. Well, both will be cut. No, it's at the same rate, I imagine. We also hear a monetary policy statement as well, which is going to be very important. So really what we're looking for is I'm leaning towards euro weakness, to be honest with you. And the reason I'm leaning towards that is because we had a slightly weaker, or we had inflation falling once more in the Eurozone earlier today. I don't know if you saw that data that come out here. So down to 2.27% and at 0.1%. So we see inflation continuing to fall in the Eurozone. So that's positive, of course. But I think maybe what we could see, where is it? I was reading something else. So what we're expecting the monetary policy statement to say is, if and when they do cut, it would be the first back-to-back rate cut in 13 years, which is quite significant. The recent economic data supports the case for an ECB rate cut, i.e. inflation becoming softer. What I think will cause euro weakness, should it cause euro weakness, or should we get this statement, is this bit here where it says higher interest rates have hurt investment and economic growth. If there's a nod towards the fact that the economy is slowing down in Europe in the monetary policy statement, if we hear that sort of language, I can imagine that won't be very positive for the euro, because what we heard from the Federal Reserve was that the economy is great. It's holding up really, really well. That disparity in the language is likely to cause potentially some euro dollar downside, but really just euro downside as a whole. Can it affect gold? Pro Trader, hello to you. Can it affect gold? Well, it would affect gold if you're trading gold denoted in euros. So if you're trading XAU EUR, then yes. But if you're trading XAU USD, probably not that much, to be honest with you. So we have 3 minutes to go to the release. I expect the ECB to cut 25 basis points. Be interesting if we got a surprise cut of 50 basis points. That would be very, very interesting. But I'm looking at the euro in the lead up to the event, and it's gained against the Canadian dollar. It's flat against the Canadian dollar. It's flat against the dollar. It's down against the pound, and it's down against the Australian dollar and the Swiss franc. I'm pretty flat against the Japanese yen and US dollar as well. So I'm wondering if there's more room for downside. This is the euro dollar chart. So I imagine that quite a lot of this has been priced in already, which is my slight concern, which is why I think just a cut won't be enough for euro weakness. We're going to need to see a dovish report, and a dovish report would look like the economy slowing down, we need to keep cutting, all that sort of stuff. So that's what we're focusing on today. Now, my favourite play here, if we're going to play some downside in the euro, is I like it against the Japanese yen. The Japanese yen's been sold into quite significantly, but they are still looking at hiking interest rates in a time where the ECB, there's still policy divergence here, is what I'm trying to say. And I think that what we've seen is up at 163.5 buy side liquidity, which has been grabbed successfully. Okay, that buy side liquidity has been grabbed successfully, and you can see the market has tried to make 2 or 3 runs up at this level, and we're just now starting to see signs of weakness. So I'm wondering if we're going to get a leg to the downside, maybe come back and test 160. So I'm not coming on here and saying that we're necessarily bearish on euro yen, because we are seeing a change in the structure, but we're just really struggling to break above this high. And until we do that, I think that we could be seeing some more downside. Now we have got 1 minute to go until that release is out. So I'm just going to zoom in onto the euro dollar 1 minute time frame, and I'm going to try and get the calendar up. So if you do get the release, let me know what's happening here. Okay, so it looks like we've had the release come out. There's a little bit of a spike in volatility, not a great deal. Has it come out yet? If anyone gets it before me, let me know. We are seeing some euro strength. Here we go. Slightly wondering if we've already seen it priced in. That was going to be the concern. So just a cut won't be enough for euro weakness. That's what we said. So we've got the cuts. The 25 basis point rate cut is here. But what does that monetary policy statement say? I'm going to try and get that up for you. "17th of October, here we are. I've got it already. Right, so what we're looking for here is we're looking for language about the economy. We're looking for language about whether we're expecting to see, and let's see what's happening on our euro yen. And there we go. We're starting to see a reversal. Let's just read it. Let's just see what it says, because this has just come out. The Governing Council today decided to lower 3 key ECB rates by 25 basis points. In particular, the decision to lower the deposit facility rate is based on its updated assessment of the inflation outlook, the dynamics of underlying inflation, and the strength of monetary policy transition. The incoming information on inflation shows that disinflationary process is well on track. The inflation outlook is also affected by recent downside surprises in indicators of economic activity. There we go. There's an initial sign of of a nod towards that weaker economy. Inflation is expected to rise in the coming months. That might be why we've had a little bit of a bid there in the euro before declining to target in the course of next year. Wages are still rising. Labour cost pressures are set to continue. Just see if there's anything interesting there. Bit of data dependency there. Okay, nothing too much to worry about there, to be honest with you. Okay, and that's the statement. So I understand why there's a little bit of a mixed reaction there, because there was definitely some sort of nod towards lowering economic growth or lowering economic data, which is becoming weaker. But at the same time, I think that comment in here about inflation being expected to rise in coming months is a suggestion that they won't be cutting rates too aggressively. That doesn't scream, massively dovish to me off the back of that. So what I'm expecting is I think the euro will continue to be under pressure in the short term. We have come quite a long way, particularly on euro dollar. We've come quite far to the downside. So I wouldn't be surprised if there was some sort of bounce. And the way where I'm looking for that bounce really is I'm just waiting patiently for this market to really bottom out, because it's been quite a heavy few weeks of downside. It's pretty much been 3 weeks of downside that we see, and there will come a point where this market turns around, and you may notice that on the daily chart down here there's quite a big daily support area coming in right there. So what I'm expecting is euro to sort of in its low volume way come and test that level, this order block or demand zone, and then from there we might see a little bit of a bounce. Now I'm going to be trying to look to sell those bounces, maybe up at this 38.2, the 50 or the 61.8, and I'm really just planning that analysis and sort of shaping that story really as it comes along. I'll just quickly pause for a second just to see if there's any questions on anyone's got any questions at all. Alfredo, hello to you, and hello to you, Bobby. Good to see you. Thank you for the message today. I hope you are doing well in your trades. Let's have a look. What else have we got? Pro Trader, yes, the news is in. Does anyone have any questions on anything that I've spoken about there? Is it relatively, understand that relatively simply? Just a quick nod to those who are with us today, maybe for the first time. We've got a really fantastic offer over at Switch Markets. Sorry, I look like I'm lagging a little bit, which is a bit annoying. They will match your deposit up to 5,000 in credit. So if you deposit up to 5,000, they will match it up to 5,000, depending on how much you deposit up to that point. So feel free to check out switchmarkets.com or message me for more details on that promotion they're doing. It's a pretty good one. Okay. Right, so what's happening here on some of the markets? Let's have a look at my euro yen, because I thought maybe euro yen might see a little bit of downside. I still think that could be the case. I'm going to remove these drawings. Actually, no, I don't want to do that because I want to show that liquidity sweep. Let's just see if there's an area after the liquidity sweep where we can maybe look to sell from. Yeah, it's not quite clear at the moment, is it? Not quite clear. What I want to see, if possible, is I want to see sort of it's just not screaming out to me at the moment. There's some equal highs here as well, which could get taken out. Up at 162.623. I'm wondering if what could happen is we come and take these equal highs out, come up to these areas. Because look, by the way, equal highs are such a good liquidity level. Proof in the pudding. Look at this. Equal highs here. What happened? Market come up, grab the equal highs, then we got the sell-off. So I'm wondering if, off the back of what we've seen, Euro Yen's going to come and take these equal highs out, and then potentially, then we see the downside move. So, yeah, I'll be honest, it's not. It wasn't the clearest of statements. We have got the ECB conference coming out as well in about 45 minutes time. So I'm going to keep an eye on the language on that, I think, just to see if there's any more clarity around that. Because at the moment it's not quite clear in terms of whether that was dovish or hawkish. I'm not really sure. I'm sort of leaning dovish, but there's a lot of euro weakness that's already been priced in. So that's probably why we're not seeing a continuation just yet. what we could do. Okay. Hello to you, Marv. Is there a way that you could potentially trade this Euro news without waiting for such a long-term pullback on the daily, e.g. trading the pullback back up? Yeah, 100%. Yeah, in fact, you might even want to try and do that on on Euro Yen. And that you might want to try and say, right, let's go down onto the 5-minute time frame. My target is going to be these equal highs. Let's try and trade that pullback now as a quick put in our stop loss at the liquidity that took out these equal lows and play that as a 1.79 to 1 risk reward trade. Don't necessarily disagree with that at all. I just prefer not to do that because I always like to follow the trend as much as possible. To be honest, and that's why I'm lining up those euro dollar longs. Like you might want to try and trade the a move back up to 1.1, but until we get a test of this daily area, which is at 1.08, I'm not interested in buying just yet. We may see the day finish up, and that's fine. It's been a bit of a slow week, to be honest with you, in my book anyway. To be fair, it's actually been quite good on euro dollar, but I've just not managed to cash in. But I wouldn't mind buying it from this demand zone or order block from here up to 1.1, definitely, but not just yet. So I'm remaining a little bit more patient on that one. Okay, just a quick heads up as well. I'm about to be posting some analysis in the room for you in the market analysis section, in the trade ideas section. So make sure you tune into that. And that really just sums it up for today. So I will keep you updated in the room. Should there be any comments worth noting on the ECB press conference. And until then, I hope everyone has a good trading day. That's the news for today. The main story of today, the ECB cuts rates by 25 basis points. Leaning dovish towards them, but there was some language in there about inflation increasing in the short term, which I think is what's putting a cap on this euro weakness for now.